Every town, every village has a present, a future, and a past. Some pasts are easier forgotten and some never die. Join me today as we explore the real Amityville. Amityville is like many towns here on Long Island. It has a history, a past, but some would like to forget. On November 13th, 1974, shots rang out at the DeFeo residence, and 6 members of the family at 112 Ocean Avenue were murdered. And for the following 39 years, the world has sensationalized the tragic event that happened in this quaint Bayside village, in books, movies, and documentaries. Some would like to forget the past, so today we start where the past left off and work our way back in time. Bringing the past to life and bringing new life into Amityville. And so here, we start our tour of Amityville and the village of Amityville at St. Martin of Tours Church. The location, the DeFeo's funeral in 1974. Everyone across the globe knows the story of the Amityville horror. But today, let's breathe new life into Amityville and take a tour of Amityville, the downtown village, and all that it has to offer. And here we are in lovely downtown Amityville. We're approaching the corner of Broadway and Union Avenue. Across Broadway here, we gaze over at what is going to be Mesita, a Mexican restaurant, formerly the Chase Bank building. That building's been there for over 100 years. Now, if you're anything like me, every day starts with a great cup of coffee. If you're in downtown Amityville, check out Anchor Coffee. Amazing coffee, great pastries, great environment to sit and enjoy a cup of coffee, tea, or otherwise. Really nice people. Anchor Coffee. Back to the street, we're now headed south. Towards the Chase building. We're now across the street on the west side of Broadway, here on Green Avenue and the intersection of Park and Broadway. They shut down Green Avenue every Friday night, where they have sort of a street fair, vendors, food, cocktails, music. It's a really great event. Stop by on Fridays and check it out. And we're now taking a look over the quote-unquote triangle where the gazebo is in downtown Amityville on Park Avenue. Park Avenue is a small street just adjacent Broadway. There's some amazing businesses on Park Avenue here. Come check it out for yourself. I do want to mention, excuse the appearance of the Amityville Men's Shop. They're an amazing shop. They had a car accident in the front of the store. They are still open for business. Enter in the rear and go in there, say hi to the crew. You will not be disappointed. They have some amazing, amazing clothes in there, and you'll walk out feeling like a king. No matter what you're looking for, you'll find it in downtown Amityville, including some amazing food. Check out the Park Avenue Grill. They have an outdoor patio, amazing food, amazing cocktails, open 7 days a week, delivery, and they just added to their menu tacos. So look up Ghost Taco on Google and you'll find them there.
That's great. Daddy film and then you could do it. I will. Let Dad film one.
And we're overlooking the Triangle Building in downtown Amityville, built in the 1890s. It's been a fixture here in Amityville ever since. And here we are at the Amityville Apothecary, remedies for mind, body, and soul. And as we head south towards the corner of Ireland Place and Park Avenue, we stumble upon the Amityville General Store. It's an amazing building. This building and the buildings just around the corner from it were built in the early 1800s. These buildings were housed just a few blocks away until the 1970s, when they were moved here to be preserved. Stop in the Amityville General Store. They're generally open on the weekends, and you find some really amazing stuff, some local gems, so to speak. And what is now the Amityville Senior Center used to be the first Amityville High School. And right back across the street, these are the buildings that had been moved to this location in the 1970s. These buildings originally built in the 1800s, early 1800s, and moved here from a few blocks away. Cool point of interest, I was rummaging around Amityville last week, and I stumbled upon someone's yard sale, or quote-unquote barn sale. Well, the barn that they had in their yard was built in 1850s and moved to that residence in the 1890s. There's a lot of movement like that in Amityville. You'll find a lot of century-old buildings that were moved from one location to the next to preserve them. And so as you're rummaging around Amityville, take note to these beautiful buildings, the history, and what life looked like over 100 years ago. And here we're coming across the Amityville Historical Society building on the corner of Broadway and Ireland Place. It's an absolutely beautiful building. Amazing museum inside. I believe that they're open on Tuesdays and Fridays from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Stop in, take a look at all the history here in the Lauder Museum. This building used to be the old bank building, and next door to it, the old post office building here in downtown Amityville. Stop in, check out the Lauder Museum. As we head back north past Ireland Place and Broadway, we're just going to give a different perspective of downtown Amityville. There really is some beautiful architecture here in downtown Amityville, as you can see. A lot to look at, a lot to stop in and enjoy. And we have the Triangle building here to our left. Pardon the appearance of the gazebo. They're doing some work here to restore the gazebo, and the project's almost complete. Crossing over the street here on Broadway to the west side of Broadway, headed back north, we're going to stumble upon another neighborhood favorite. If you like cheesecake, you probably want to pay attention to this next segment. Stop in and say hi. Stop in at the Cheesecake Spot right on Broadway. Amazing place, gourmet cheesecakes. I had my heart set on a pumpkin cheesecake today since it is National Pumpkin Cheesecake Day. However, they were all sold out, but I went with the strawberry cheesecake and the banana pudding. I may put on a couple extra pounds, but hey, anything to sacrifice for you guys. And a different perspective on downtown Amityville and the view. We're now driving south down Broadway, past the gazebo, past the Triangle, and the Triangle building. Be coming up to the Amityville Historical Society building, the Lauder Museum here at the corner of Ireland Place and Broadway, right here to your right, and then the old bank, which is right here to your right. All right, check this out for music fans. Coming up, we're going to stop here on the right. This empty lot with this sign here that you see, it's not actually an empty lot. There's an office set back there. It's a dentist building. This is the location of where Kiss, the band Kiss, played their first show in makeup. That's right, here in downtown Amityville. And as we travel south down Broadway, making our way to Montauk Highway, we see here on the right and also on the left, which is not in the view, a lot of buildings that were built in the 1800s, mid-1800s, absolutely beautiful. Just along the route, there is a cemetery along the way, the Ketchum family cemetery. The Ketchums, which were one of the original settlers here in Amityville, I believe in the late 1700s after the Montauk Indians. And this is their family cemetery. So one of the great things about Amityville is the history that's right underneath us, and the fact that, you know, rummaging around Amityville, there's a lot of the past still to be discovered today. Wow. Look at this. This is pretty cool. This is right here in the Ketchum family cemetery. And I'm just strolling along, and all of a sudden I find like an old piece of what looks to be like a barn or a barn door or a hinge of a barn door. Anyway, it's pretty cool, and I'm just going to keep it right here for the next century. Here we are at the corner of Montauk Highway, and we're making a left off of Broadway onto Montauk Highway. We're still here in the village of Amityville. And currently, we're turning down one of the most infamous streets in American history. This is the street of, quote unquote, the Amityville Horror House. If you're unfamiliar with the story, you can Google it anywhere. In the 1970s, there was an infamous murder here on Long Island in Amityville. And for the next 40 plus years, that story has been sensationalized in books, movies, documentaries, imagery, you name it. So just a little point of interest for you movie buffs out there that do follow the genre of the quote-unquote Amityville horror and all the movies that came along with it. In that movie, they're on a boat, they're whizzing around the ocean or the bay, and this is that bay that's depicted in the movie. The Amityville Horror House is on a canal. It's on a deep water canal, which opens up to the open bay here on the south shore of Long Island in Amityville. It's an absolutely beautiful area, as you can see. Along this canal and along this bay shore, there are beautiful, beautiful houses ranging in the $1 million range and above. On a cold November morning, Ronald DeFeo Jr. ran into this strip mall here. There was a bar here at that time. Claimed that he found his family murdered. Well, the story unfolds shortly after, and for more than 40 years, this imagery, this house, this neighborhood has been a part of American culture. What we are here to do is just to share the story of Amityville with you. One thing is for certain, a tragedy did happen there. It involved a family, it involved children. The events that happened there happened over 40 years ago. A lot of people in this neighborhood are still trying to forget those events. Every village, every town may have its past, but it also has its present. And every house has its homeowner. And personally, I don't think it's the right thing to do to promote a house like the quote-unquote Amityville horror house, where people will be encouraged to go there, gawk at it, stop, take pictures. People live there. You have to respect people's homes. Therefore, I'm not including it in this video. The photos that you see are photos that you can Google and that you can find yourself. If you follow the movies, all that stuff, you know the street it's on, you know the address that it used to be, and of course it changed addresses over the years. It's a beautiful neighborhood. You guys should come out and check out Amityville when you have the opportunity. But it is certainly part of our Long Island history. So I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. Thanks for joining me here in Amityville. Take a look out for future videos where we're going to take a further in-depth look throughout different parts of Amityville and just check out the neighborhood. Hope you guys are doing good. I'll see you next time.